Hey y'all, it's Bud again. If you've ever played a PC game before, I can guarantee you that you've heard of the company named Valve. Valve created Steam, which is the world's biggest hub for buying and playing PC games. However, before Steam, Valve was primarily a game development studio. They've created many titles that are still adored by PC gamers, such as Portal 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Team Fortress 2, and more recently, Counter-Strike 2. These games, especially Counter-Strike and Team Fortress, have garnered large, loyal fan bases. These two fan bases have unfortunately been completely fucked over by Valve. Let me explain. Counter-Strike 2 was recently released in 2023 and served as a direct predecessor to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. CSGO was the longest-standing version of Counter-Strike and was praised by fans for its gameplay, maps, and historical esports scene. In my opinion, CSGO was the best 5v5 tactical FPS game that was ever created. When CS2 released, it essentially replaced CSGO. CSGO was completely removed from Steam libraries, and CS2 was to fill its shoes with its shiny, new, updated version of Valve's game engine, the Source Engine. This transition between the two games was both unappreciated and shocking to many fans, as previously each new installment of Counter-Strike did not replace the previous version. Think about how upsetting it would be if the release of Black Ops 3 back in 2015 meant you could no longer play its more popular counterpart, Black Ops 2. Despite this rough transition, CS2 was accepted with open arms by most of the Counter-Strike community. However, shortly after release, its problems became very apparent. As detailed in a lengthy Reddit thread by user WireNerd, CS2 suffered in comparison to CSGO in its movement, time to kill, hit registration, in-game economy, connection, and most importantly, anti-cheat. In addition, CS2 was riddled with a host of random quirks and bugs. I, like many others, waved this storm with a huff of copium and assumed that Lord Gaben would fall from the heavens and fix these issues. That unfortunately never happened. Despite countless quote-unquote updates, many of its players agree that CS2 is far from being a polished game. On top of that, I see several posts every day on the Counter-Strike Reddit highlighting players' experiences with hackers and aimbotters and CS2's competitive modes. And if to make matters worse, CS2's recent update to celebrate its 25th anniversary added a few bug fixes and map addition. It was far from the big and impactful update that many players hoped would come. Regardless of these issues, Steam continues to make a near $1 billion a year on CS2's in-game skin economy. They show no signs of stopping and will continue to put more time and effort into selling skins rather than making CS2 better for its players. While CS2 Saga is a more recent issue, one of Valve's older beloved titles, Team Fortress 2, is experiencing a similar issue. Now, I have less experience with TF2. I own the game and probably put about 10 or so hours into it over the course of 8 years. However, I am aware of Valve's complete abandonment of the game. It's been about 6 to 7 years since the game has received an official major update. I only know this fact because there's an account on Twitter with 8,000 followers that counts the number of days since that update. This is unacceptable considering that TF2 has roughly 100,000 players on at any given time. The game is nowhere close to dead. Valve just clearly doesn't care enough to take care of its loyal fan base. On top of that, as noted by the website fixtf2.tf, yes, someone did create a website. TF2 is riddled with bots and hackers. I went ahead and opened the game for myself recently to get a litmus test for how bad things are, and I immediately encountered a hacker that was spinning around with aimbot within my first 10 games. I've never seen a game with such a bad hacker issue since the last time I opened a Call of Duty game from the 2010s on my PC. There's literally no reason why Valve can't put some time and money into fixing this issue. Just last year, Steam generated an estimated $8.5 billion in revenue. So the issue isn't resources, it's just that Valve doesn't really care. Since TF2 isn't spitting out heaps of money for Valve, I don't think they view any worth in pleasing their player base. Why fix this old game when they can spend that time instead on making more CS2 skins or releasing a new product? If you feel any sympathy for the TF2 community, I highly suggest you check out the website fixtf2.tf and sign the hashtag FixTF2 petition that is featured in the description below. Before I conclude, I do want to mention that despite their issues, I still do appreciate all the contributions Valve has made to PC gaming. Furthermore, there are teams within the Valve that I think really do have the customer's interest in mind, like Valve's customer support and the team behind the Steam Deck. I don't know if you guys are aware, but if you happen to buy a game on Steam and within 2 weeks of that purchase, that game goes on sale, Valve's customer support will issue you a refund so you can then go and buy the game at the cheaper sale price. That is some exceptional customer support. However, Valve's overall apathy towards the fan bases of their games is unacceptable and downright embarrassing. Valve can definitely do better. I want to leave you with one last Valve fuck up, albeit pretty hilarious. Recently, Valve released a huge game-changing patch to Dota 2 right before the playoffs of a large tournament. Talk about a fun time for the players of that tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant, and I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow.